Now, I think it's pretty safe to say that the future of the Star Wars universe seems to be quite expansive, not just with their new Star Wars comics, books, novels, and video games, but let's not forget about the new Star Wars TV shows and the movies that are currently in the works by Disney and Lucasfilm, along with creators like FAVREAU, Filoni, and Lucas, along, of course, with also new ones coming on board to join them in order to really bring Star Wars on a new path. This is Mike Zero. Make sure to subscribe if you are new to the channel for future Star Wars updates. Also, by the way, guys, make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support. It is greatly appreciated. Now, if there's one thing that a lot of fans are really looking forward to, it's of course 2023, which, by the way, is going to be best described as one of the most involved Star Wars years under Disney's wing, not just because of Star Wars Celebration, but also because of all of the new releases. We have Ahsoka, we have Mando 3, and we have a handful of other animated content alongside that that's going to be unveiled as well. So with that being said, we already know that Bob Chapek is very much, allowing John and Dave to do exactly whatever they want, and I think that's the best thing that we can get right now. That's exactly what fans have been asking for. It's what fans deserve, and that's exactly what they are delivering. Now, given that Kathleen Kennedy is still having a lot of trouble with the Acolyte series, and given that they are developing sets right now for the Acolyte show, after many were taken down, that cost Disney like tons and tons of revenue, they're finally getting closer to getting that principal photography date filled in for the month of December. That's when they want to begin filming. So, on top of all of this, what's even all the more exciting recently is what Bob Chapek had to say about the future plans for the Star Wars universe. Now, so far right now, Bob Chapek has been very busy behind the scenes, planning the roadmap of the Star Wars universe in order to give fans the return of legends to become canon under Disney. Now, recently, Chapek has been regulating the franchise by giving FAVREAU some creative power over the Acolyte series, and more. However, recently, Bob Chapek made a very exciting announcement for Star Wars fans in order to build up hype for the franchise by stating the following to fans. We at Disney realize that it's the characters that fans grew up with that have made Star Wars as great as it is today, and though we are open to focusing on new characters, we have come to terms that the Skywalkers are central to the story, which is why we have John and Dave putting together this wonderful story based within The Mandalorian and its surrounding spin-offs to truly expand the story of Luke Skywalker and the rest of the Skywalkers. With many of our upcoming shows, we are finding avenues on how we can fit the characters in, like Luke Skywalker, Anakin, and other Skywalkers into the storyline that will truly expand the adventures of these iconic characters that George had created. It's in our best interest to keep expanding the Skywalker legacy, and John and Dave have some pretty exciting surprises for the community that will be known to everyone in the not-so-distant future. Now, I want to pause here quickly for a second before we get on to the other exciting stuff of what Chapek has to say. Now, this most likely alludes to the fact that Favreau and Filoni are working on The Mandalorian Season 4 that's going to heavily feature a lot of Luke Skywalker material. It's going to have a lot of Luke Skywalker storylines thrown in there that's going to tease of what's to come for post-Mando 4 material. Now, whatever that may be, that's going to be announced at Star Wars Celebration next year. Basically, all of the stuff coming after Mando 4, they want to announce at Celebration. Anything before that or closer to its release dates, that's going to be announced at Disney Plus Day and D23. That's why I believe that they're going to decide to announce the Book of Boba Fett Season 2 during the upcoming two events. Now, given that we also have Chapek and, of course, other Disney executives working very closely with Favreau and Filoni, there's also a lot of others involved that are going to be hopping on to the Star Wars universe to really expand the storyline, to really give fans a different perspective on it all. So, moving on from that, he goes on to say the following, of course. It was our idea to really look back into the source material and to dive back to Star Wars Legends and how we could find ways to recreate those stories that Luke and others were involved in. And it's all beginning today. and John and Dave are doing some great things that I feel that the rest of us at Disney feel will be jaw-dropping to the audience. Our path right now is to keep George's vision alive and well, embedded into the Star Wars brand that is ever evolving. We are also going to be allowing George to guide us on how the Skywalkers can properly be inserted into these said stories that John and Dave are developing for the community, and we have been so honored to have them a part of Disney as we are trying to achieve something that the fans will come to respect. So, I want to actually touch on something before we get to the next thing here about what Bob Chapek has to say. The thing about Chapek is that he really does have a lot of faith in Favreau and Filoni, as I do myself. But when we look at everything related to what they have planned for Mando 4 and beyond, as well as the Ahsoka series, is that they are going to be using the Thrawn trilogy books from the 1990s as pretty much the backdrop for the upcoming Star Wars TV shows, to really kind of give fans a fresh new take on the franchise, to give fans a new war, a new conflict, whatever have you, that's really going to create quite the experience for the Star Wars universe. Now, moving beyond all of this, the other thing is they are actually going to be expanding, like he says, the stories of Anakin, Luke, and other Skywalkers, which also alludes to what we have been talking about for what Jon Favreau is planning for the Mandoverse. And of course, the future canon material of dragging in other Skywalkers that are considered descendants of Luke from Legends into the current canon material that is going to come back to life. So they are doing everything that they can to really reverse all of, the fans' criticism over the Star Wars franchise. They want to make sure that they're going to please the hardcore fans out there, the dedicated fan base. They want to really make sure that they're going to be able to achieve that goal, where they're going to be able to really kind of just give that satisfaction to the fans. Now, we already know that Hayden Christensen has a multi-show contract deal, which also alludes to what Bob Chapek just talked about, of how they will be expanding the story of Anakin as well. And we already know that he's going to appear in the Ahsoka series, he's going to appear in other Star Wars shows out there like Mandalorian Season 4. We talked about how there is a Force Ghost scene planned for Mando 4 for Anakin Skywalker. There's a lot of things in the pipeline right now that's really going to give fans a very different take on the Star Wars universe. Now, did we hit a couple of speed bumps? Absolutely. The Book of Boba Fett, which by the way is now getting a new treatment by Jon Favreau. The first season didn't go so well with fans, neither did the Kenobi series. Both of which are going to be getting soft reboots, and we talked about this in the last video, if you guys want to go ahead and check that out. The thing about Favreau that really just gives you so much, confidence within the Star Wars universe is that he himself even said that he would have done things far differently with the sequel trilogy films, and that he pretty much has that goal in mind to really give Star Wars a brand new take that fans have never seen before, and something new that's really going to transform the series into something else. So that's basically his plan right now, in order to really give fans something different than what we have ever seen before. He wants to make sure that Legends is going to be the main focus. So overall, guys, drop a comment below. Let me know what you guys have to say about this below in the comments, and if you guys did enjoy the content for today, make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.